Welcome back to AFL from LA Tips Round 21. Who loses and why? I'm your host, Cindye, and I'm here with my pal, Andrew from Anklesore. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Cindye.
You made a fatal error this past week in your tipping because you let me convince you to pick Brisbane to win, Suns to lose.
That'll never happen again. Because I initially tipped Gold Coast, remember? And I said, you know what?
You did. You changed your mind, and I would feel bad, but it just keeps me winning. So
you're a bad influence.
So the tally is 117 to your 111 with a +1. We both got 8 right, though. I thought that was pretty good, you know? I mean... You would have had 9.
I would have had 9 had I stuck to my guns, which I usually do.
So we have 4 rounds left, and 3 of the games this week can totally turn the top 8 topsy-turvy. We'll see.
But on AFL 360, they like to call it snakes and ladders, where you can be second and head down to 7th, in 1 week.
Thursday night, July 31st, Western Bulldogs against GWS Giants at Marvel Stadium at 7:30.
Okay.
So last week, Bulldogs smashed Essendon by 93 points in an all-ground domination. It was 150-51. And the Giants erased a 35-point deficit and came back to stun Sydney by 44 points. Ended up being 102-58. It was amazing. So it was the first. We thought that was going to be like wow for the round, but little did we know.
They had nothing on the other game. Yeah, that we're going to talk about later.
What was to come, right?
Whew,
so all right. So let's get to it. So Toby Green has a 1-match suspension for striking.
So far.
So far. Toby being Toby. Josh Kelly and Buckley are out for the rest of the home and away season. I don't know. That means there's a chance they could come back and play finals.
Yeah, okay. Well, after the round 24 or round 23, whatever it is, there's a week between finals. So they've got an extra week to recover. So it should be right for finals.
So they should be all right.
Yeah, you got to players in the finals because they're bloody good players.
They are, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. I believe the Bulldogs, there are no new outs of any note. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah,
Business
they're pretty good with injuries. Yeah, apart from Treloar, who's still out. But like I said weeks ago, I don't think he makes a difference to their team anymore. I think they've gone past him.
So, all right. So my boy Toby is out. Who do you think is going to step up and fill his role going into this game with the Bulldogs?
It has to be Jake Stringer, doesn't it? It's almost like for like.
Well, but Jake is already in there. I think it's going to be one of the younger guys. Rouston and McMullen have like a similar player profile as Toby. They're just young. So I think they're probably one of those two guys is actually going to take the Toby role, and Jake's going to just be able to do Jake things. You know what I mean?
Okay, how about Jake takes the Toby role and they take Jake's role? Because he can be angry at times, Jake,
Right. Yeah.
So he might even win number 4.
You might. You might as well do it. All right. Well, so how do the Giants shut down the Bulldogs this week?
I don't think they can shut them down. I just think they have to go blow for blow because they're both quick teams, and I think the only way GWS can get them is to go the other way, because the Bulldogs' defence is iffy at best,
Right.
So I don't think Adam Kingsley that type of coach to lock down on players.
Right.
I think he just likes playing his style and his game. And
although he does usually get he'll put Bedford in attack.
Toby Bedford, that's the only one. But he almost uses him a bit differently this year. More of an attacking player, like go forward and kick goals. Because he's kicked a few goals this year, whereas last year he was like
last week.
That's what I mean. Like he's I think he's like, okay, start on Bontempelli, for example, but try and go forward and exploit him that way, So it's a defensive role, but in an attacking way. So
what weaknesses in the Giants will the Bulldogs need to exploit this week to win?
Their backline. Without Buckley, Darcy and Norton are going to be a problem.
But Alika Lear has been pretty awesome replacing Sam Taylor for the time that he's been out. So now we get Sam back. Alika will step in. We still have Iden, Himmelberg, Ash. Like, we still have all-star backline, right? Joe Fonte, I think he might be up for Rising Star. I don't know, but he's been incredible.
He has been.
I'm not worried about their backline. And the midfield is a place where I would feel a little more uncomfortable with Kelly out, but at least Canelio's back. They've been playing without Canelio for a long time, so they at least have that I was going to say mature player. That sounded so weird.
Well, it's true though, isn't it?
But senior player in the midfield, yeah. So
has he got a walking cane yet, Canelio?
He's got his walking stick. So anyway, who loses and why?
GWS.
Okay, why?
Like, there's no signs to this.
Okay.
I just think
this
Bulldogs.
Is the feeling?
Yeah, Bulldogs need to get one of those top 8. They need to get one. I think they beat GWS early on in the season.
Well, they did.
Mistaken.
They've actually won 4 of the last 5 meets with the Giants.
Yeah, so, look, I know I'm a big advocate of play wherever, it doesn't really matter, but Marvel Stadium's a big one for the Bulldogs. They play so well down there.
Okay.
And I think being at home just helps them just that much more. And I just think Darcy's going to turn it on this week, and it'll be hard for GWS to stop him. So I think GWS lose.
All right. Well,
not
the
by
first
much.
of our
Not
disagreements.
by much. Geez, I didn't see that coming, did I?
Yeah. Well, you never know. Like last week, I was terrified that the Swans were going to win, and for one half of a game, I was like, "This is bullshit. This is bullshit. What is happening?" Right? So
I just want to tell everyone, you've stopped texting me during the games. You just text me after the games.
Of course.
You never text me before, during. I know. I've noticed. I think
that the Bulldogs are going to lose. I think that GWS is just going to come out and tear them a new one. I'm not concerned about Toby being out because the last 2 games that Toby did not play, both happened to be against Brisbane. Yeah. And both times the Giants dominated those teams and won. I mean, those are their premierships team. So I think they can get it done without him, Buckley and Kelly. And it may not be a blowout, but I think they'll get the job done. And Doggies final hope are doomed.
Oh yeah, it either ends this weekend or it stays alive. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, we'll see. Either way, I think it's going to be an exciting.
It should be a great game. One. Yep.
But I don't know if it's going to be as exciting as this game. This is Adelaide Crows versus the Hawks at Adelaide Oval.
Who's playing
on Friday? Your Crows and your Hawks. Oh, what are you going to do? This is a tough one.
Oh no.
It's like Sophie's Choice here. What's happening?
No, my Crows are number 1 for me. My Crows.
So last week, Adelaide had a record showdown against Port. It was 122 to 28. Am I reading that right?
It was 35 to 130.
The Hawks, they lent on Will Day, and they had early scoreboard pressure, and they beat your Blues by 24 points.
And not my Blues.
Crows, I think Michael Annie. Am I saying his name right? McElhaney had a hamstring. Did a hamstring?
Yes,
was it
hamstring he did.
Soreness?
Yes.
Hamstring awareness?
Awareness, yeah. Who knows these days? Yeah.
And the Hawks, I don't know if Chol's going to be back. I think he had a groin injury or a groin soreness.
Yeah, he was sort of rested, but geez, it's going to be interesting if he gets back in.
What do you do do you have Chol, Gunston, Lewis, Dia? What's his name? Kalshadia?
I'd keep Kalshadia and Gunston because I think Gunston's a goal kicker and Kalshadia's just got something special. So the question is Mitch Lewis or Chol, I would say. Okay. Chol can play in the ruck, but Mitch Lewis is a better forward. What do Hawthorn see more value in, a ruckman or a forward? A second ruck or a forward?
The Hawks' quick ball movement sliced Carlton apart. Can that same up-tempo style unsettle Adelaide's bigger back line, or do the Crows defend speed differently?
It can unsettle them, but the Crows are so organised down back that it takes something special to get through that defence. They're just set up perfectly.
So I'm obliged to ask who loses and why.
Oh, the Hawks. The Crows are just... There's something else this year.
I agree with you. I was on the fence about this, actually, and I'll tell you why. But I think that the Hawks are going to lose. I think the Crows' midfield's stronger. They have the home ground advantage, and they have late game scoring power. But fun fact, last year against Adelaide, in Adelaide, Hawks won by 66 points. This year, Hawks won at UTAS, but we know all about their advantage there, right?
Yep.
And then as I was looking things up, I found this interesting. So Adelaide has lost to the Hawks, Collingwood, Dockers, Cats, and Suns, okay? All top 8 teams. But the Hawks have lost to the Lions, Collingwood, Dockers, Cats, and Suns. So
there you go.
Gonna be interesting, this matchup.
So you're saying they're on the same level, basically?
It would suggest that they've lost to, almost
teams,
all the same teams, right? Adelaide definitely has been, I feel like, as you would like to say, you can trust them more right now. Like there's a sense of Melbourne versus West Coast at Marvel Stadium, 1:20 p.m. So Melbourne surrendered a 46-point three-quarter time lead and lost at the Siren to St. Kilda in what's called the Miracle at Marvel.
It was.
So West Coast conceded 100.
West Coast? They're an AFL team, are they?
Yeah. They lost by 49 points to Fremantle at the Derby. And the Derby has been less than exciting in that,
it's been horrendous,
in that state for a while. So D's nothing new. May is still suspended. I think they tried to appeal it, and they said, nope, he's out.
I think they're actually appealing it again, believe it or not.
Again?
I heard yesterday they're trying to appeal it again.
Eagles, sadly, have lost Harley Reid for the end of their season. So
just the end of the season, or?
I saw a post today from Harley Reid basically thanking the fans and telling him that he looks forward to building the team. So there's been a lot of discussion about the idea that he might want to stay.
So like Tom Barras said that, and Oscar Allen? Oh, okay. Cool.
Look, totally. I mean, this is sports, and there's money involved, right?
Exactly.
But
when the manager says, just say you're staying, but we're leaving, they're leaving.
There's been a little rumbling, too, that, Oscar Allen going is not a done deal. So,
isn't it?
So we shall see.
I will bet 100 nuggets he doesn't play for West Coast next year.
Are you ever going to learn?
Well, Fremantle haven't made finals yet. Same thing as last year. They got down to the last game and they lost. So nothing's ever over, But anyway,
I would suggest changing your 100 to maybe pieces of lolly, Allen's lolly, strawberry.
Oh yeah, so you can salivate watching me eat the Allen's lollies.
Well, I mean, it's more manageable. You could polish down a bag of lollies 100 in no time. But,
I don't reckon I could.
Nuggets?
I reckon I could have 100 nuggets before I have 100
I could easily take that
lollies.
bet.
Well, there you go.
No
You
problem.
take it. You take a kilo of Allen's lollies.
So with Harley Reid sidelined, where can West Coast find the spark and midfield drive that they need to trouble Melbourne and possibly pull off an upset?
I'm putting this on Tim Kelly.
Tim Kelly.
I'm putting this game on Tim Kelly's head.
Okay.
You've done nothing for 2 years. You don't like playing, but you signed a 2-year contract. So give back to the West Coast what you owe them. You owe them a good game of football. And here's a winnable one for you, if you can wake up, Tim Kelly. So I'm putting it on Tim Kelly.
So here's the question. Who loses and why?
West Coast, I just don't have the guts to pick West Coast. As dumb as it sounds, if Harley Reid was playing, I'd probably pick West Coast this week.
Would you?
Oh, Melbourne are just... that loss last week was devastating. That's got to hurt.
Well, I think the Eagles lose. I just can't. I can't put my money on them right now. Unless the Demons kick themselves out of it. The weight of territory and the class gap. Yeah. I think it'll be a comfortable win for Melbourne. Hey guys, so we have a big surprise for you. Andy and I are going to live stream the Melbourne West Coast game. So we hope you'll tune in and join us at 1:15 East Coast time and have a little fun with us during this
Shocking encounter. We'll be your entertainment for the weekend. So don't worry about the game. Tune into us on YouTube at 1:15. We'll be entertainment for the day. Get a drink, get some snacks, enjoy.
All right, Andy. Question of the week. If the grand final was today, the G is packed. It's a full house. Who loses and why? Brisbane versus Gold Coast.
Oh, Gold Coast lose. Brisbane have no fears on grand final day.
Okay.
They won it last year. The year before they lost by a goal to Collingwood. So
you have no
no reservations. No.
All right.
Everyone gets them. Every team gets them. That's it. They had theirs.
Geelong versus GWS.
Oh, who loses?
Yeah.
Oh, GWS.
Pourquoi?
Oh, you want to know why?
Yeah.
Well, you can't show up on grand final day and ruin my day and kick 3 goals in the grand final. You're dead to me on grand final day. When you win one, I'll have respect for you, okay?
All right, my last one. Collingwood versus Adelaide.
Why are you doing this to me? I have been saying for a few weeks that Adelaide's the only team that can really, really stretch Collingwood because they can kick a score and Collingwood can't. Collingwood can't kick 120 points. Adelaide can. I think Collingwood would lose.
Next game, we have a twilight game. It's the Gold Coast Suns against the Richmond Tigers at People First, 4:10 p.m. So last week, Gold Coast recorded its biggest ever Q Clash win. It belted Brisbane by 66 points. Richmond pushed Collingwood for a half, but couldn't get it done. They lost by 36. The Suns, no big outs, right, Andy?
Not that I know of.
Balta is no longer under his curfew.
Oh, really?
Yay. Yeah,
Finally.
He's allowed to play.
Wow.
And Taranto's supposed to be back. He would have been handy against...
Collingwood, yeah.
What's Richmond's smartest way to create scoring chances up forward?
Thanks for an easy question. Against Gold Coast, that's tough. Because you don't get much time and space with Gold Coast. So 3 of their best forwards aren't playing for Richmond at the moment. Actually, 4. I'll go as far as Seth Campbell, Layla, Tom Lynch, and McKelty Falau, or whatever his name is.
But that little Taj is turning it on. Who else
he's a star, Taj. But that's the thing. Ryan Mansell and Taj Houghton, that's it, and Jonty Fall.
All right. So what are the odds that the Suns totally underestimate the Tigers this week and lose?
0. Because just remember, this is a Damien Hardwick Cup, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
He ain't losing to his old team. I promise you that.
So, Andrew, then who loses and why?
Oh, come on. Richmond. they're just not equipped. They're not equipped.
Well, unless they can produce an outlier night of turnover first goals and flawless accuracy, Gold Coast Suns take this one easily and the Tigers lose. So, all right. So the next game is going to be Sydney Swans versus Essendon at the SCG at 4:15. Swans capitulated in the Derby, giving up 11 of its last 13 goals to my Giants. Essendon suffered a 93-point hiding to the Bulldogs. McLean is out with concussion, I believe.
That was scary.
The Bombers, Goldstein is out for another week, I think, and Ridley is out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. I think it's safe to say the Swans are now not a chance for finals.
Thank God.
Can we all agree?
Oh, please. Thank God. I've been saying this for 6 weeks. And people are still clinging to that, Dwayne Russell, mate. I haven't heard him speak this week, but he better not be saying, there's still a slight chance, because they're not.
So how do you think the Swans approach the last few games of the season? I mean, do they try to save face? Do they swap out older players and let some of the younger players play? What do you do at this stage?
No. The Swans are one of those delusional clubs that, they want to win the next 4 games to start next year's progress.
Yeah.
That's the way. So this is my problem with Dean Cox, right?
Okay,
because he was under John Longmire for 8 or 9 years, he's got that same Swans mentality.
Okay.
And how's that worked out for them this year?
Have there been successful takeovers where a junior coach takes over, becomes the head coach, and they go on to have really exciting finals?
Yep.
Playing. So who has this happened with? What teams
So it
do you recall?
happened with Melbourne about 10 years ago. So Paul Roos came and said, I'll take over Melbourne for 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
But in the meantime, I'm going to groom the next coach, which was Simon Goodwin, right?
I see.
So he took over and won a premiership in 2021.
Okay.
However, when you've got Max Gone, Clayton Oliver, Chris Petrarca, Stephen May, Jake Lever, makes it a hell of a lot easier,
They're a good team. I know you hate to say this. I know you think it's one player, but they are a good team. They have some really awesome players. But they just haven't been able to string it together. So Essendon beat the Swans 71-63 in round 9, but they've since lost 8 more of their top 22 players. Well, the Swans are only down 3, I mean, that's insane. That's not a question.
It is, isn't
that's
it?
just a fun fact.
It's bizarre, yeah.
All right, Andy, who loses and why?
Oh, Essendon loses.
Yeah. I don't know. Is this the game of the round? This is Collingwood versus Brisbane, MCG 7:35 Saturday night.
Yep.
This is going to be a doozy. This is So Nick Dacos had 42 disposals and 3 goals, and he powered the Pies past Richmond. But Brisbane nursed a 5-day break after its Q-Clash hammering. Pies, how DeGoey and Hill may be back. And the Lions, I think, are pretty much the same squad or group, if you will.
Yep.
What's your read on where the Pies sit right now?
I said it a few weeks ago. I don't like them resting so many players.
Yeah.
It upsets team balance and that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
Like, I get it. I understand, right? Like, Pendlebury was another laydown on Sunday.
Yes, yeah.
Just, a bit sore, and he's 36, 37, so I get it. But it's a good problem to have, 30 to choose from. But still put in your best 23, I would think, right? Because, they lost 2 games they probably shouldn't have, right?
I don't know. Should they have not lost those games?
Well, they lost point to Gold Coast, right? And yes, we did tip Gold Coast that week. But, then the Fremantle game, they shouldn't have lost that game at home, right? So
right.
Now they're back in the pack. They're only, a game ahead of Brisbane. So this game becomes crucial. So that's where if you want to start resting players and you lose this game and Adelaide win, Adelaide could go on top, Brisbane could go second, and Collingwood would go third, and you don't want to be playing interstate final first week. So
what specific area did Brisbane neglect that allowed Gold Coast to dominate so completely?
Everywhere. They actually got smashed. That midfield, Rowell and Anderson, just tore them apart,
So who loses and why?
Collingwood. I just don't think the MCG presents a problem to Brisbane.
Yeah.
I think after last week's bad loss, and it was a bad loss, I think things change. I think they do that 2 weeks in a row. My knock on Collingwood is they don't kick high scores, so they're vulnerable against anyone, even though they're the best in close games.
Yeah,
I'm just going Collingwood to lose, because Brisbane, I just feel that they'll come out and you'll see the real Brisbane this week.
I truly don't know.
I know. I reckon you've been thinking about this for 3 days, I reckon.
We've been saying for weeks, Brisbane has always been not that convincing, right?
Yep.
They've lost now to the Suns. They've lost to the Giants. I can't recall who else recently they've lost to, right? As you just mentioned, Collingwood, they've looked a little lackluster.
Shaky? Yeah.
I don't know. Is it a draw?
Hey, feel free to tip a draw. But if it's not a draw, you lose a tip, all right?
I'm going to agree that the Pies lose.
Bloody hell. How am I meant to catch you?
You can't. You can't. Yeah. St. Kilda versus North Melbourne, Sunday, August 3rd. Marvel Stadium at 1:40. So the Saints produced the largest three-quarter time comeback in the VFL AFL history to beat Melbourne. Can I ask you why we have to mention the VFL and the AFL every time they talk about this comeback? Why?
Because it's such an enormous comeback. It should be said that in 120 years of football, it's never been done. So
has it been done in waffle or sandful or
probably because they're inferior competitions. It's a fact. I'm not having a dig at them. It's true.
Well, North lost by 101 points as Jeremy Cameron kicked 11. Nick Larkey, I don't know if he's back. His knee has been all messed up. And Wardlaw, I think, is available. But I think they're still going to miss Cherry and
Cherry one more week, yeah.
What can they do to stay in the contest this week?
They just have to bring the pressure. That's it. It's not about scoring. It's not like they'll take care of itself, but bring the fight to St Kilda.
So who loses and why?
I'm loath to tip them, so I won't. So North Melbourne lose. But I would expect, I would hope for a better performance and, at least make St Kilda work for it.
I think North loses. They have no ruck to counter Rowan Marshall. They concede first use at most stoppages, and they'll gift St Kilda territory and repeat entries that injure their thin defense and goal-shy forward line. So I think they lose. I think the Saints are going to go marching in once again.
I agree.
Moving on. Now, this is the game of the round. Just kidding. Geelong versus Port Adelaide.
That's a joke. That's funny.
GMHB Stadium, 3:15. So Geelong crushed North with Jeremy Cameron's career best 11 goals. And Port was humbled, to say the least.
That's been kind.
What went wrong?
When you've got a coach with Alan's teeth lollies in his mouth, he doesn't care. The players don't care. He doesn't care.
I thought they would be much more competitive because we've seen them turn it on. We've seen it happen over and over again. Like every time, we're counting them out, they're like, "Wait, I got one more for you." So but
that was early in the season, though, right? Yeah, when they actually still would chance for. Not that I thought they would chance for finals, but they could still play finals if they went on the run. But now that they've got nothing to play for and 4 weeks left of the coach, they might. The last game in the round, they might send him off and try and win that one. But apart from that...
Well, what would Port have to do to beat the Cats?
They'd have to get Jeremy Cameron and take him out for dinner the night before and get him sick on shellfish, yes. They have to do that to about a dozen players, let's be honest.
All right, who loses and why?
Okay, we know who loses, but I'm going to go as far as saying... Yeah. Jeremy Cameron will kick more goals than Port Adelaide. All
right. Well, they're definitely the I was going to say the Pies. Port definitely lose. Geelong are going to win. Geelong are a shoo-in for the top 4 in my estimation. Out of their next 4 games, I can't imagine 3 of these games. There's no way they're losing.
There you go.
Fremantle, Nugget Town versus your Blues at Optus at 5:10. 5:10?
5:10, 5:15 or something. Yeah, the graveyard shift, yep.
The Dockers kicked an inaccurate 18-18 and beat West Coast by 49. And Carlton got beaten by the Hawks by 24 points. So key outs for Freo. I think Pierce is still out and Fife is a test. And the Blues outs are they're endless. They're endless.
Yeah.
With so much on the line, how should Fremantle weigh the risks and rewards of bringing Nat Fife back in if he's declared fit?
They should bring him in because this is a game where he'll flourish because he's playing against witches' hats. Rest Sarong or Brayshaw or Young or someone like that.
I thought you didn't like resting players.
Yeah, but in this game, it's warranted.
But they have so much at stake, right? They can't afford to drop any games, and they have at least, I think, 2 games that are
touch and go. Yeah.
Do you bring Fife in and take somebody out and risk?
Oh, if I'm being serious, Fife will never play again.
If they wanted to give him a final game, I don't know if he's retiring, but
isn't $750,000 a year to not play enough of a send-off?
All right, so who loses and why?
Carlton Football Club. This is going out to you. If you care about your supporters, namely moi, you might want to put in a decent performance and try and win this game because my 100 nuggets are on the line. But knowing the Carlton that I know, Carlton lose.
Yes, Carlton lose. What else is there left to say?
Oh, don't get me started.
I have some mailbag stuff for you, Andy.
Can't wait, as always.
So I had a few people that were, when we were asking if there's ever been a Kilda and what St. Kilda came from.
Oh,
and
yes,
I got
yes.
I believe the actual answers, there's like a mountain range, something in Scotland. But these were the ones I like the best. So, so before the game, at T Cullen 3684 said St. Kilda. I believe it's derived from an Old Norse word meaning crap at football. After the game, T. Cullen. Yeah, it seems I was misinformed. The actual meaning, exceptionally good at last quarters.
I thought it could have been St. Kilda meant Wangani Malera.
Yeah, that could be a good translation. Then we had from at KO-US9DG. I believe that someone made a deal with the devil in 1966 and cursed St. Kilda for eternity. That was before the game. And then after the game, just a wow. At Fingers7311 was responding to, I asked you last week about how is Richmond doing that much better than the Eagles when they were both sort of in the same situation. And his response was that Richmond drafted better. Instead of selecting one player, they spread their draft and built way faster than throwing all in on one player.
I've been saying that for a long time.
Should they have just stuck with Harley, or could they have...
Or traded the one pick and got 2 or 3 out of that,
And I think that's a really good argument for why maybe they should have done that, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Or gone for Dan Curtin and a couple other people. Well, he was
exactly.
Well,
they
too.
But in hindsight, they could have got Curtin and maybe someone else and Taru or whatever to shore up the defence and forward line. And Harley's a great player, but it's about fixing the club. Like, one player is not going to fix the club.
This one's for you. This is regarding Carlton from at Catwall6023. She said, this was about whether Carlton would win, and she said, nah, we might surprise poor Andy. Do it for Doc and Witters.
How'd that turn out?
Wieters.
Did they even show up?
Swans fan 72 was not happy with me. Said Papley still had more touches than Green. True story, he did, but
and how'd the game
didn't matter, folks.
Exactly.
Didn't matter. Xavier Holmes 5 was not happy with you. We asked about Stephen May last week. He said, "Shut up, Andy. May tried to get the ball, just wasn't quick enough." That was in regard to the hit.
I thought I said that. I don't know. You got 3 weeks, so I could have been. I must have been right.
Well, he disagrees with you, which I did actually as well. I think he was a fair contest.
Well, then you're both wrong. So anyway,
Trevor Buttich said, "Crap show, talking shit. Doesn't say anything worth listening to." Sorry, Trev.
Okay, go with something else, Trev. Why are you watching us if we're crap and shit?
He might hate watch us. I'm okay with that. You can totally hate watch us. Grant D291 didn't even call Papley a fat bastard or pull skinfold calipers out of his sock. Having said that, if you go to Macca's and order a Papley, you're served a large Big Arch meal deal and with a nugget side and a large thick shape. A medium Big Arch is called a Logan Morris.
Ooh, I might try that. See if it works.
I mean,
give me
I
a
don't know what to say about that.
Okay, maybe it's true.
Try it. Will you go try it this week and let me know?
Yeah, we might.
From Mark 51023. Oh, I love this guy. He said he was questioning my love affair with the Giants, being an Eagles supporter. And he said, I'll have you know that it's not a good look to go swapping teams when the going gets tough, Miss Eagles fan / love affair with the Giants.
Cindye, I've been trying to tell you this. I tried to explain why you can't do this. People will come for you. Do you understand? You can't swap allegiances.
At least there were laughing, happy faces. So he gets me. Deep down inside, he gets me. Thank you, Mark.
Okay, but I'm just here to tell you it's not okay.
And last but not least, I'm saving the best for last. Wayne Pelling. Green is a thug. I've always thought that. Well, he spelled it without the E, so I want to know what he has against Tom Green.
Come on,
what did Tom Green do to you, man? Like, he's a good guy.
Tom Green never does anything wrong. He's a model citizen, so I'm pretty sure he just doesn't know how to spell Toby's name. It's with an E at the end, all right? So just get that right next time, because, you know, then we let Cindye off because she thinks it's Tom Green.
That's it for us this week. Again, Andrew and I will be doing a live stream for the Melbourne Eagles game, and we're hoping you'll join in and have some fun with us, because you might, you know, make me cheery on a very, what can be very
unlikely,
difficult game to watch, you know. So,
and that's why we're doing it, so we can provide some entertainment for everyone. 1:20 on a Saturday afternoon, cold Saturday afternoon in Melbourne.
Yes.
Sit on the couch, watch us.
Your muesli, or no, at that point it's lunch for you guys, right?
Lunchish, yeah, lunchish.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, thanks again for tuning in. We're almost done. There's only 4 more rounds, and finals are upon us. But, you know, let us know. You have some questions, comments, anything. But have a great week, and hope your team wins.